City College of New York was established in 1847 as the first free public institution of higher education. In 2024, under the leadership of Dr. Renata Miller, Dean of the Division of Humanities and the Arts, City College was one of 5 public universities in the country to receive a prestigious Mellon Foundation grant. This grant aimed to establish an internship placement program specifically designed for humanities majors. Our Humanities Internship Program provides our students with direct access to internship opportunities. We foster awareness of the importance of internships and, most importantly, ensure equitable access by making sure all internships are paid. Here's one example of the relationships we've established with nonprofits in our community and the impact it has had on one of our humanities majors.
Hi, welcome to King Manor. I'm Kelsey Bro, Executive Director. Come on in, let me give you a tour. The King family bought this house in 1805 and lived here until 1896 when the last member to live here passed away. It opened as a museum in 1900, so for 125 years, we've been welcoming visitors to explore the history of this anti-slavery founding family who helped write the Constitution and then remained active in the fight against slavery for nearly 100 years. Rufus King, he was somebody who learned from the world around him and was open to revising his opinions. One of the most important things he did was also try to influence the opinions of others toward anti-slavery as the country expanded westward. I'm holding here a printed copy of his most famous anti-slavery speech, printed in 1820. And this was one of the first times that a politician got up in public and said that slavery was immoral. Rufus actually got death threats for this unpopular at the time stance. And I think it's inspiring, especially for the young people who visit here, to think about standing up for what they believe is right, even when it's unpopular. At King Manor, we're really all about community, and part of that commitment to community is providing quality work experience for students, especially undergraduates who are at that unique moment in their lives where they're figuring out what they want to do with their education and hopefully gainful employment. For us, this program with City College has been really meaningful because it allows us, with our limited budget at the museum, to reallocate those funds to invest in our programs and making sure we're providing quality experiences for our visitors.
My name is George Perez. I graduated from City College with a BA in History in 2025, and I participated in the Humanities Internship Program. I am Dominican, and my family immigrated to the United States in the 1980s. Growing up, I knew I didn't want to go to university right away. I kind of wanted to get out and see the world, so I did join the Marine Corps. I was a Lance Corporal. I was a tank driver with 2nd Tanks out of Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Life after the Marine Corps was in flux. I didn't go into university immediately. I worked a few jobs. I was also taking care of older members of the family. After that year and a half, I decided to start my studies. I ended up landing at CCNY just because of some of the prestigious awards that were coming out of that school, like some of the history. It was the history of City College that made me want to study history in City College. I studied Latin American history with Professor Lashad, as well as Middle Eastern history and Arabic with Professor Barron. What attracted me to history was the time that I spent with my grandparents growing up. My grandparents were always talking about what life was like back in the mountains where they were from in DR. Hearing those basically almost folk tales of people that I never met attracted me to like oral histories, like the human aspect of studying history. As I approached graduation, I wanted to find some internships to see what opportunities there were out there, and that's how I came across the Humanities Internship Program. Once I got accepted into the program, we went over my resume and cover letters and looked at placements of where my interests aligned. And I ended up getting placed in King Manor. I led tours and worked on educational programs for students coming in over the summer. Coming out of the experience, the skill that I honed the most was public speaking. So it kind of went from a transition of me going and having a small panic attack to leading multiple back-to-back tours. The internship changed my ideas of what I wanted. I didn't know anything about what museum education was like. I had always thought that I would end up being like a public school teacher, but it was illuminating to see that I could actually have a different career path. Without this look into the professional world, I would have been ill-equipped moving forward. I'm certainly grateful to the Mellon Foundation as well as Dr. Hollywood at CCNY for placing me at King Manor. I learned a lot through Kelsey, the executive director there, and I do feel more confident about finding a job after graduation, and I'm actually in the interview process for a museum educator role at New York City Museum.
Opportunity. That's precisely what this Mellon Foundation grant has accomplished for humanities students at City College. Their degree serves as the foundation for success, and through the Humanities Internships Program, we demonstrate to students how to apply their classroom knowledge to real-world skills that will benefit them in their future careers. George's story is just one example of the positive impact we've made on dozens of students in this first year. Watch what we achieve in the future.